I've been away from the YouTube channel in a while. I've been going through some things, but also I've been doing some things like writing and stuff like that, publishing like a book and stuff. Just been, and then we working, and then like I said, going through some things. But I just want to, talk about the relationship with my parents. And you watching this, when you listen to me, you can leave a comment or whatever and talk about the relationship that you had with your parents. What is the real relationship that you had with your parents? So let's get into it. The relationship I had with my parents, and this is like very important. Alright, I start off with my father. So I didn't know my father until I was like 10. So my uncle had raised me up to a point where he died when I was like 5, and then seeing that at a young age, you don't know what death is, but you just know a person not dead no more. And then like my grandfather, he was there, and stuff like that, but still, and what actually happened at the father in your life, and then you always asking questions like, where's my father? Who? I knew I had one, because I just remember seeing his face like one time, but I was very, very little, so I just remember, but I just like, who is he? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I would just sit there, ask questions, and mother couldn't provide the answers. And then I would get letters here and there from my father, but I would always wonder, like, who is he? What he look like? Like, who is he? It was just stuff like that. And when I got to meet him, the day I met him, I knew he was my father only because the way how my mother hugged him. So the way she hugged him, I just knew that was my father. And that was the same day I met my brother on my father's side, my little brother. So, yeah, man. So as the years went by with him, he was like in and out. Or I would see him whenever I saw him. He was working, but he also was doing his thing. Different women in there. And yeah, man. He was here, and he was there. And then even times where I feel like, every time I just hated him, because I'm like, yo, one minute I see you, and next minute I don't. And then times where it's like, I ask him for some things, they say he'll get it, and then don't do it, and then every times he did do things that he would do, but there was other times where he say, I'm gonna get it, and he don't. And it was like it got to the point I was just used to it. But, I lived with him twice in my life, and that was through my teenage years, moving back and forth from my mother's house to his house. But I volunteered, send him move in with him, only because of the things that was going on with me living with my mother. So, the thing that hurt me most, though, about my father, he said he'd do this, and then it don't happen. My aspirations, my dreams, I always wanted to be in a studio. Record studio, record some music, whether it's with him or just record some music and learn. I love to learn about things that I'm very interested in, or I just really love. So I wanted to learn, right? I wanted to learn, and I know I look rough. I had the waves, and then I started I don't even care for the waves. I'm letting my hair grow out or whatever. But yeah, though. I wanted to learn, man, and he used to always say, I'm gonna take you to the studio, I'm gonna take you to the studio. He used to always say that, and I never got that opportunity to go because of him. But I end up not been in a studio, but where I work at, you know what I'm saying, now it's like, I got one of my peoples. I went to her house and she got her own little setup joint, her own little home studio thing, which is tough for real. Yeah, man, it ain't flamboyant or anything. Like, it ain't like all that, but it didn't have to be all that. She had a microphone, she had the speaker, she knew how to record, she knew how to do all that. Just being in that right there, and I did that, and I'm doing that for myself. I was like, this is something I always wanted my father to take me to. And you know what I'm saying? I didn't care if it was a big time studio. I don't care about none of that. I just wanted to be in a setting and see how things work, and end up doing it myself. Did that like this year, like early this no. I did that last year. I did that December. But yeah, man. So you know, with that like being said right there, you know, my father taught me a lot of things. Taught me about child support. He taught me about a whole bunch of stuff. Sorry, it's fucking summertime and the nets and shit be out. But yeah, man. He taught me a lot of stuff to child support, and he used to always say why he couldn't give me stuff because of child support. But he taught me about child support. He taught me about a lot of things though. So I'm not gonna say like my father's like, he never taught me nothing. He ain't, like I said, it's some things he did that, you know, he said he was gonna do, he did, and it was most things that he said he was, you know, he would do then didn't do. But he always taught me and my siblings about a lot of stuff that he wanted us to learn, so we do not make the same mistakes as him or copy anything that he did. So if we mess up, that's on us because he told us the game, and if we mess up, we should you know, been aware, like, yo, he gave us the platform, and he gave us the formula, and we ain't followed through with the formula plan, so now look at us. But I listened though. I used to take his word like as if he was God, and then, you know, man, time we was really beefing with each other because of a situation, and I thought it was like, yo, he did a bitch move on trying to put me out. I ain't fuck with him. Many times I hated him. He was how we ain't fuck with each other, so it was like that. But the relationship me and him have now, I'm more closer to him than I am my mother though, despite what I just said though, only because he listens. He listens, let you talk, and you know, he still give you the game on things, but at least he listens. You know, not hearing to respond with a comeback, but he's listening to respond with some acknowledgement of something. Like, I know him, like I said, since I'm 10 and I'm 22 now and everything. At the age of 22, he, like, I had told him recently that I have depression. Now, knowing like my depression is severe though, but I don't hide that from nobody. I talk about that show that nobody's perfect, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's perfect. And definitely show that I ain't perfect. People love my character when you know who I am, when I talk to you, and I just keep it real with you. Everybody love my character, but I never hide depression. I never hide things that I believe really caused, and I never hide the things that I've done to myself. So, but I had told him that because I didn't want to tell him because I didn't know how he was going to perceive it, but I had to tell him like it's a difference between being depressed and having depression. And he told me about times he was depressed when he wanted to do this, but he was just saying things that I'm like, it's a difference between being depressed and having depression, like seriously having it, and every single day for as long as I had it since I was like 11 or 12. Just didn't know it. But once I moved down here at my mother's house 4 years ago, I've been 4 years since I've been here, but I had to find out the symptoms of it and then go back to everything that been through to make sure, like, yo, these are the symptoms. So, but he knows, and I had to educate him on things. And then he listened, he asked questions, and he asked questions of a concern, and he just wanted to know so he don't be misguided. And that stuff like that had made me close to him. Versus like with my mother, I don't have a close relationship with her. I never felt like I did. There's many things that she done. Don't get me wrong, she made sure we had a roof over our head, food in our bellies, and clothes on our back. Like, you could never take away those accolades and stuff like that. You can never take away stuff like that. And it could be people that be like, man, she ain't had to do this or do that. And thing about it, you didn't have to have kids, but it's the many things that she done for a long time. I know her more than her friends know her. My siblings know her more than her friends know her, so they only see one side. Me, sister, and siblings, we see the real side, while they see the side that she portrays. And I always been there for her because she raised me to basically, to be there for her. I mean, I raised my siblings since I was 7, so I ain't really had no childhood. I raised my siblings since I was 7, and every time I would be tired of doing it, I'm like, this is your responsibility. So it made me, like, move back and forth from my father to her, because my father, I had more freedom to do me and do whatever it is I wanted to do. But when I had that freedom, it was like, dang, what do you do? But with her, it was more like, watch them do this, do that. Like, I've been taking on responsibility since I was 7. What the fuck is that on my So, but yeah, dude, it was just like, I'm just saying, the thing, I won't say what she done. I mean, I'd rather have a conversation one-on-one with whoever watches this, but like I said, the things that I've done made me not close to her. And I told her about my depression before, but she totally directed it to something else that it really wasn't. So, and I told her, it's just things, a lot of stuff that made me not close to her. And you know how sad it is, I had 3 women who I consider my mother figures, and they didn't give birth to me. You know how many times I hear people say, I wish you was my son, I wish you was my son. All because of how I behave, how I act. People that know me know my character. They always believe that my mother raised me to be the man, and like, like, they love me. People love me and love my character. And they always thought, because you must be close to your mother, so she must have raised you to be. I'm like, nah, that ain't from her. I raised myself, or I really made myself who I am because of the mistakes I made in my life, and because of the things that I've learned on my own and things that I had to learn from my experience of life that made me who I am. So, I tell you, man, the relationship, I always believe, like, in Black communities, it's relationships like that. You either close with one parent, or you close with the other, or you close with both, or you close with none. But it don't really get talked about like that in the Black community, because if you tell your truth, you looked at as disrespectful, you deem as disrespectful, you like, why are you saying this, saying that? But when you spit the truth, spit your truth, and you put things into the limelight, it helps people really that may go through similar things that you're going through, help them with expressing themselves or be able to talk to somebody who can relate. So, yeah, like I said, she done things. She done things to make sure we had it, but that don't take away from the fact of a lot of hurt that I've suffered. A lot of hurt. I mean, I suffered a lot of hurt from both parents, don't get me wrong, but one do something that the other don't do, now we're just listening. So the things, how I act and how I carry myself, how I treat people how I want to be treated. So rather how I treat a woman if I'm in a relationship with a woman, I'm trying to deal with a woman, I treat her how I want her to, you know what I'm saying, to show me love. You know, the homies, I be there for the homies, like how you supposed to be there for your mans and them, your homies and them, you be there for them. You know what I'm saying? I'll be there for them, they need me, I'll be there for them, whatever. If I can't be there physically, just know if you need me, you can call me, text me, whatever. Like, I'm there for people, you know, I'm there for people. This is how I want somebody to be there for me. And it be hurting when you really get that from others than the people that created you. Especially the one who you live with most of your life. And that was my mother. So, like I said, I'm not going to put out all the things I'm not going to put out all the stuff that happened. I'd rather do that on a solo conversation tip, but there's people that know my story and people that know what she done. When I told them, like, yo, this is the real, you see this, but I'm explaining to you what happened here, what happened there. And then everybody that comes across her, everybody had their own perspective of her. But a lot of similar perspectives they get from her is, it could be negative. And when they, when they hear that negative perspective of her and they tell it to me, I already tell them, like, hey, I understand why you feel the way you feel. And personally, I've seen worse. Trust me. I've seen worse than what she can do. You just seen a little bit of it. So, I know, like, if I have a child, I'm more going to adopt. But if I had a child, you know what I'm saying, have me a woman that is the best woman in the world, and I can, wife her up, have kids and stuff with her, or a kid, whatever you have to. Pray for me on that one. But we have a kid. I want to make sure my child have that relationship that I always wanted with both my parents from birth. Not had to get it from somebody else like I had to. So, well, I mean, if you watch this video, just let, you know what I'm saying, you can comment about the relationships you had. If you go through you have a similar type of relationship, then let me know. We can even talk about it one-on-one, But most definitely, like, I want to know what's y'all relationships like with y'all parents, because I feel like I said, you got those who's close to one parent than the other. You got those that's close to both and those who's not close at all. You may be close to somebody that's a father figure or mother figure. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all have a good one.